All right, and welcome back to Alternative Discussion West. This is your host, Ryan Banks, and I'm bringing you episode 13, Lucky 13 today. My guest today, I'm pretty excited to have him in here. He's got a very deep history out here in the East Bay and Bay Area scene. Mr. Ron Cruz. What's going on, Ron?
What's happening?
So how you doing? Our listeners will probably know Ron from his band Omissa, possibly some of the earlier work, DSRX, Kilrush, and then, of course, some current projects he's working on, like the Early Monarchs. So we're going to dig all into that, Ron, but where do you get started, man? Where are you born at?
I was actually born in Oakland area in the 70s.
A long time ago.
I'm an old fucker, man.
Awesome. So you said your family came from the Philippines, and you were the first one born here, huh?
Yeah, of my immediate family. I was first one born here, so pretty proud of that. I'll hold it over my brother and sister's head.
Yeah, you were born out here. And you're,
I'm a natural citizen, bitches.
So where do you guys live growing up?
We moved to Pittsburgh at an early age, and I was pretty much there all the way until my freshman year in high school. Then we moved to Antioch.
Okay,
and,
so you're pretty familiar with the East County scene.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, that's kind of, we take a lot of our shows back to that area. So it's cool to have you in from Pittsburgh. Went to Pittsburgh High? Pittsburgh
High, and then, like I said, first year in Pittsburgh, and then went to sophomore year in Antioch and graduated from there. So, fucked up thing is, so check this out, man. The fucked up thing is, Pittsburgh, your freshmen are the first year in high school. You're always fucked with seniors. Antioch, the first year of high school, was sophomore. So both years, I was the bottom of the fucking class. Man.
Yeah.
What the
So you graduate from Antioch High?
Yeah.
And what's that like? What's Antioch like at that time? I mean, that's early 90s?
Early 90s, man. It was quite a big difference of Pittsburgh, man. Pittsburgh was full of different ethnicities and...
Pittsburgh was kind of tough at the time.
It was
right?
tough. Oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
It was
Bay
Point,
Pittsburgh. Yeah. But I didn't really think of it in that sense until I moved to Antioch, and then I was like, oh man, there's people have cars. Yeah. Like all these kids have cars and shit. It's like in Pittsburgh, it's like you had one friend that had a car. You all piled into their car to get to school. So.
And that was it. Yeah. So Antioch at the time was a little bit nicer than Pittsburgh.
It was definitely, well, I don't know the word nicer, but it was definitely different. Different mindset, there was a very small group of minorities. It wasn't that
as diverse as
yet. Yeah, it was. Okay. I mean, dude, I remember some cat running around with like a swastika on his fucking backpack, dude. I was like, what the fuck? This is California, right?
Yeah.
So I remember that, and I was like, oh, that's kind of crazy. That's like 90,
yeah.
I mean, shit.
It totally has changed over the years. And,
yeah.
And I think Pittsburgh has gotten a lot better, as people have said. And then Antioch has had its tough times now, but it's, trying to pull out of that. So you graduate from Antioch High, what year?
91, 92? Shit.
And there wasn't really any music in high school? You weren't playing?
No, but you know what? That's where my interest into music began. I started playing acoustic guitar probably 17.
So you're in high school, you get an acoustic guitar?
Yeah, because my dad's always played acoustic guitars, and he had an organ. He was self-taught. He was terrible, but it was, to us, it was great.
But he would play.
He would play.
Often, yeah.
We'd always sing like Beatles songs. We had Beatles sheet music everywhere.
Yeah.
So that was pretty rad. Between Beatles and Captain and Tennille.
So there was music in the family.
Yeah.
And you guys were all. You had a brother and a sister.
Yeah, brother and sister.
Both older.
Both older. Yeah, both older than me. My sister was the one that actually kind of introduced me to like rock music.
Now, did they have like great record libraries, or
She had a bunch of tapes.
Okay.
Like she was all into like Depeche Mode and Cure and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I was coming from Pittsburgh, man. I was pretty much into soul and hip hop, and
that's all that was out here.
Yeah.
Okay.
My closest thing to rock music, I think I was listening to, was MTV, like watching Rat and Def Leppard and shit like that.
Yeah, those mainstream hair metal type.
Right. And then my sister was listening to like 7 Seconds.
Okay.
She
started to get introduced to the underground.
Yeah. So
okay.
I would like. She'd be listening to that. I'll be like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, there's nothing like this on the radio or MTV or any of that.
Right. And then she was dating this dude who was living with us, and he was really into like that kind of like music, like underground music, like Slayer. First time I heard Slayer. Well, actually, you know what? I had a friend in Pittsburgh that he would like listen to like like Slayer and what's that one, Venom? Remember
Okay,
Venom, dude?
yeah,
Holy
wow.
shit, that was evil.
That's heavy stuff.
Man, every time I listen to that, I'm not even a religious dude. And every time I listen to that shit, I was like, I gotta go to church, man. Holy fuck.
So you hear that stuff early, and do you immediately take a liking to it, or does it kind of catch you off guard?
No, I actually digged. I was like, I loved the feeling,
The intensity,
the
or-
intensity, man. You know, I mean, you're a teenager growing up, and you have all this angst,
Yeah.
but you really don't understand it. You know, I don't really understand like
Even what it means.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You know, but then I'm listening.
But you want to be different. You feel different.
Yeah.
You might not fit in anywhere or at school or.
Right. I used to do breakdancing and all that shit, but you
Yeah.
know, I used to carry around my little roll of linoleum and shit. But I always just loved, I don't know, louder, more intense.
So you hear these metal riffs,
Right.
and they catch you.
Yeah, yeah.
And then now, do you go into playing those on the acoustic guitar, or
Yeah, I was trying to play more Beatles stuff, and then
okay, just kind of playing along with the family band?
Yeah, exactly, right.
Okay.
And then when I went to Antioch, like the kids that I fit in with were the ones I smoked weed with.
Yeah, you felt at
Right,
home there.
I felt at home, man.
Yeah.
So like it was all the stoners and rockers, and this one cat, man, his name was Chad. I don't even know where the fuck Chad is now, Chad Baker, but he introduced me to like Van Halen, and then like some of the I heard of Metallica already, and I heard some of their songs, but he really like introduced me to like rock.
Yeah,
Like
you're
a
saying
lot
Slayer
of rock. And Slayer like really got me into him. Like he would we get high and go work out in his gym and listen to fucking music.
Yeah, and
he
just
showed me all
pumped
these,
up.
yeah. And he showed me all these fucking albums he had, man. You know, and I was just like, dude, this is great. You know?
Are you going to concerts at that point? Have
And
you
then,
seen these
yeah.
bands live? Because that's when it catches, right?
Right. And I think the first big concert, like metal concert that I've been to, that kind of blew me away was the Day on the Green.
And that's Oakland Coliseum.
Yeah, 89, 90.
And who's there?
Oh fuck, dude! Check out this lineup, man. It was the shit. This lineup was the shit. I was already getting into metal. I getting into rock. The reason why I went was because Metallica was headlining it. Queensryche, Faith No More, Soundgarden.
Wow.
Shit, who was the other man? But it was because I was a big fan of Soundgarden. Like I got into Soundgarden like '89.
Really?
I mean, I just fucking something about Soundgarden was just like, okay, they're not glam, but they're not
They're heavy, but they still have a voice.
Right.
They've got a singer.
the melody.
Yeah,
right?
there you go.
That's something that always got me was melody, and he sang with such fucking like urgency,
Yeah.
like
Presence and passion.
and passion. Yeah, hurt and
Yeah.
everything. Feel that you can't really get out of like technical music, you know.
Yeah.
Like you get technicality, you go, wow, that's amazing. I could never play that in a day in my life. But
Yeah,
know what I'm
when you hear
saying?
Slayer, you go, I'm not coming up with that stuff.
Right,
you know?
I'm glad they played it because there's nowhere fucking I would be able to do that shit. But then you hear someone that's like, everyone could sing or play whatever, like a G chord, a key.
Yeah.
But you do that and you make someone go, fuck.
Yeah.
That
and
was
then put the voice and the passion into it, and you're like,
Right.
oh shoot, they're not playing anything technical here, but it's different.
right. That was totally like what got me with Soundgarden, man. So when that Day on the Green came out, I was
And that's
like
1990.
90 or 89.
Oh wow.
Holy fuck, yeah.
Yeah, I hear all about the Day on the Greens, but I was too young to go to any.
Maybe it
of
was
those,
90.
You know, but yeah, I always hear the lineups. And it's like, holy smokes!
Right.
They're like, yeah, it was all day long, and there was a parking lot party before. You know, and it's
Dude,
just
we
like,
were on
wow.
the field, so it was at the Oakland Coliseum. We're in the field, and clogs of dirt. People just started throwing clogs of fucking dirt from
Yeah,
the
like
from
you
the
see in the
field.
Woodstock '94 videos and stuff.
Right, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh man, this is badass. But how are the A's gonna fucking play? Because
Yeah, you're a sports fan too.
I'm an A's fan, man. So I'm like, oh fuck, they're fucking up the field for the A's.
So you see Soundgarden, Metallica, Queensryche,
Yeah.
all these bands, and then you decide I gotta play.
Well, I already started fucking around, you
Okay.
know, and my sister bought. The thing is, my sister was really influential because she had bought a drum set from Gill's Music.
Oh wow, yeah,
Right.
back in the day.
Back in the
I
day,
think
she
Gills
bought
is
it.
still out here. Yeah, in
Right.
Brentwood, I think now.
Oh shit, are they?
Yeah, they've moved.
Oh wow, no way. Oh dude, that's so. We used to practice underneath Gill's Music in Antioch.
Wow.
Yeah. It's Kilrush used to play. No, it wasn't even Kilrush. It was before Kilrush. It was. Oh shit, we were just a jam band.
So you pick up the acoustic guitar, and then your sister gets a drum set.
And because her and her friend playing guitar and drums, and I would always hear him, I'm like, I'm buying a bass.
Yeah. They need a bass player. Right?
I gotta be part of this, man. I gotta get into this shit, man. So we start jamming, and
so you're jamming with your sister and her friend.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was just coming up with shit, just jamming.
So you're writing stuff.
We're writing stuff.
Original stuff.
Yeah. And I'm like, I know how to play on the frets because I've been practicing on the acoustic. So, and I always loved bass, man. Bass, I always got called to bass, like Bootsy Collins.
That's from your early soul history, growing up in Pittsburgh and having that R&B soul kind of.
Like Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah, wow.
Dude, like those bass players, no one could touch those guys, man.
They're incredible.
Bootsy Collins.
Yeah. There you go, from Parliament.
Oh my God, man. You remember, okay, I'm going to skip ahead a little, just so real quick, so I could tie this in. Do you remember I recorded with that Mootron pedal that gave that wow.
Yeah.
The only reason why I played that shit is because Bootsy Collins.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to incorporate that into a metal band. Fuck it.
and did it well here. So you guys end up jamming there, and then when do you end up starting a band? I mean,
my sister was dating the guitar player from this band called Primitive Justice.
And they're from out here?
They're from out Concord area. Okay. Kenny was the singer. Actually, Kenny was the bass player.
Oh, Kenny played bass early on. Okay.
Yo. So he played bass, and then they were going through changes. They wanted Kenny to sing.
Okay.
So
they needed a bass player if he's going to move over.
Right. And then my sister was like, dude, they need someone to play bass, man. You want to come try, hang out with over there. At this time, I was more interested in just...
You're out of high school at this point.
I'm in high school.
1920.
Yeah, I'm living in an apartment with my roommate, Danny, in Concord. I'm 20.
Yeah.
First time living on my own, like legit, like, oh, yeah, I'm doing
Feeling good, yeah.
Fucking always, got hella weed and hella beer all the time. Even, they come over to my apartment. I remember this I was listening to our CD. I seen them play. I was like, oh man, these guys kind of sound like Judas Priest, dude. I don't know if I want to be in this band.
It's kind of dated metal.
A little bit, right? I was like, and at this time I'm listening to Tool and Korn and Soundgarden. And I'm like, oh, well, let's see if my style could kind of connect with them. They come over, play. He brings his guitar over, the little amp. Kenny comes over, and we just start fucking around. And it was like 2 hours later. I'm like, wow, what did we just... It was wrote fun. A bunch of shit, and it didn't sound like, Judas Priest.
so your influence helped.
Yeah, and because they're older cats. They were a little older. Kenny was a little bit older than me, but Mark was. He used to be in this band called Dreyfus Pike, where they were really big, kind of in the 80s and 90s. They were pretty big. They were doing a lot of tours, about to do a European tour at one time, and somehow got canceled. So
you were excited to be playing with these guys.
Yeah.
They were kind of known in the scene.
I'm this 20-year-old kid, and
never been in a band.
Yeah, never been in a real serious band, just jamming all the time. And then
and that's your first meeting with Kenny.
No, I seen him play live before.
Okay.
So I seen him play and met him, but that was my first time spending quality
hanging
time.
Out. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this is my motherfucker right here.
And everyone hit it off.
Yeah. So I got in, tried out with the whole band. At that time, we had 2 guitar players, an actual lead guitar player.
Yeah.
Shit went good, and they were like, yeah, dude.
And so you joined that band.
And here is another a little tidbit. I put my little cap on. So Steve DiGiorgio, who's he's the bass player for Testament now.
Okay.
He used to be in Sadis in Antioch. Like the baddest bass player on the fucking planet, man. The guy is a fucking beast. He was actually filling in on Kilrush before I joined, to help because he knows the guys and shit. So I got to take over for Steve DiGiorgio.
That was at 20 years old, yeah.
Dude. Fuck yeah.
So you join, and then the band becomes Kilrush, or once you join, or are they already Kilrush?
They're already Kilrush. We used to practice on a street called Kilrush Avenue in Dublin.
Okay.
Or Dublin, one of those places.
And that's where the band gets the name.
Right.
Okay,
right,
that's
right.
Kenny singing, you're playing the bass, and the 2 guitar players?
2 guitar players.
Okay.
Marty and Mark. Marty is the drummer for that band, and Mark was the guitar player, so they're brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Kilrush has EP out before you get in them?
Mm-hmm. EP
okay.
with
And
Kenny
they're playing.
Bass. Yeah. They're playing. I think Kenny was playing bass on that shit, yeah. So then we do an EP, do a bunch of shows, man. We play all over East County, dude. Like,
just everywhere that would have you.
Everywhere, dude. It was played the shit out of Concord. Like, Chris Lamore probably got tired of us.
Wow, Lamore.
Yeah. She probably got tired of booking us, man. Like, don't you guys want to play somewhere else?
And what venues were in Concord at that time? I mean, this is early 90s.
Well,
this mid-90s, probably 94, 95?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see. Probably about that year, 94, 95. My first show with that band was at Hobie's which is
Hobie's
now
Roadhouse.
Vinny's.
Yeah,
Right,
wow.
which is now Vinny's in Concord, man. So we got to play there, and I don't even know if I was 21. Cause I think I could only go. No, I was 21 because my friends got in. Yeah, so I was just turned 21 or something like that.
So you're playing Hobies, you're playing all around.
Yeah.
Concord, and then so you guys are writing songs, and then you end up recording another EP with them.
We recorded the first EP, which is like 4 or 5 songs. Do a shitload of shows, and then our writing really changed, man, because my, some of those songs. That first EP, like half the songs were like ones I didn't even write bass on. I just came in and.
So once your influence kind of starts taking on,
the sound changed. Yeah,
things
changed. Yeah, like all of a sudden, at this time it was Korn and Deftones were really coming popular. It's the music that we're all listening to. Helmet,
Adrenaline's out.
Oh man, I was a big fan of Helmet and Quicksand, and the post-hardcore. That's really where I lived in.
Really groovy,
really groove, but just heavy.
Yeah,
and just shit was just heavy, But then you look at these dudes; they look like normal cats, right?
Yeah,
they're wearing
just jeans and t-shirts.
Yeah, the jeans and t-shirts, like all crew cuts and shit, But they're like, whoa, what the fuck's going on here? So that's kind of where I lived in, that kind of realm. And then, that's the thing. I introduced groove, right? So I'm coming in, and these guys are kind of like, their music is real. Like, not saying dated. I don't want to call it dated, but it was definitely in a lane.
By the book, metal.
Right. Really, not even like metal, like hard rock metal. So it was. I come in and like introduce like this real groove, because my bass playing is. I love the pocket. Yeah. I'm not gonna go and play Billy Sheehan shit. I don't know. First of all, I don't know how to do it. And. I'm a one-finger wonder, right?
You've got your style.
I live on the E string, right? But I introduced this groove, and they just really, the guitar player, Mark, just takes it and runs, man.
And he really took to it.
Oh,
took to the groove and really, started writing different.
Right. And it took on its own beast, man, its own form. And we became a band that really didn't have that typical Concord 90s sound.
Yeah.
I don't. That's why I say
so
typical.
You stuck out.
Stuck out. Yeah. I mean, our look, and our sound.
Yeah.
So it was really, really cool, man. I think we really pushed the envelope of that time.
So you guys get that sound, you develop your own sound, and then you're saying you kind of head out and start playing places like Berkeley Square.
Right. And that's when we started getting. We got pretty. We had a good run. Man.
And Berkeley Square at the time, I mean, that's the premier venue.
That was the go-to. Yeah,
everyone's playing there, right?
Everyone's playing there. All your favorite bands are playing there.
Yeah.
Shit, man. You remember? I saw Rage Against the Machine there.
Wow.
90? Oh man, I don't know. When was that?
With the first album out.
First album before it was even released on major pressing.
Wow.
Like I seen them a month before that. They were opening up for Pearl Jam on the 10 tour. They weren't even on the venue, the list of the venues.
You wouldn't even know they were going to play.
They didn't know who the fuck they were. And you're just like, who the fuck are these guys? They're just killing it. They were throwing out like tapes, like little recorded tapes with the flag on it, like a copied flag, black and white flag with
American flag.
With the American flag with the match in it.
Burn this flag.
Right, and they're just throwing out these little cassette tapes, man. And so I was like, who the fuck are these guys? And then we saw they're playing at Berkeley Square later. And we're like, yeah, we got to go.
Yeah, talk about a sound that stood out. I mean, I remember first hearing that album. Whenever it was 92 or 93 when that came out.
That really actually, Rage Against the Machine really influenced us.
Yeah.
Kenny was doing a little. I don't know if you never heard that album, huh?
The early Kilrush.
Yeah, early Kilrush, man. So Kenny did some rapping.
Yeah.
MC Kenny.
Does this stuff exist anywhere for listeners to find, the Kilrush?
Actually, our drummer still has the website, so on Facebook.
Oh, really? Okay.
He put a bunch of his music up there along with it, and he's got all the old recordings, which I will send you a link to.
Yeah, so we'll put that up, so people can find the Kilrush.
Yeah, I should have grabbed that. He's actually, our last recording was really cool, man. It was really kind of pushing the envelope.
And what kind of bands are you guys playing with when you guys play Berkeley Square?
We would play with like Spike 1000, Seven Karma Fishes. You remember Seven Karma Fishes, man? We played with the organization once, which was the Death Angel, members of Death Angel.
And these shows are full.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking pack shows.
Pack shows, man. Because Berkeley Square, it doesn't matter who was playing. They had a built-in following.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a staple, dude.
They had weekend shows, or they had shows every night of the week?
Every night of the week, man. Really? All ages.
and it was just happening.
It was happening, dude. I missed that place.
What
so
year does
much.
Berkeley Square shut down?
Ooh.
Do you have any idea? Just an idea?
It would have to be mid-90s.
Okay.
Sometime mid-90s. Because we were playing there all the way through. I think Kilrush ended in 94? 95? Hold on, let me see.
So Kilrush is playing Berkeley Square, and you guys are talking mid-90s.
Oh, wow. We actually played till 2000.
Yeah.
I think our last show was in 2000. So it would have to be like somewhere in the maybe 98, 99.
Okay.
Wow.
So that band kind of runs its course.
Yeah.
Kilrush. You guys go for about 5 years.
Yeah, we have a good run, man. But, Mark was much older than us.
Yeah.
So he was ready to have a family, and, me and Kenny just wanted to do different things,
And
so,
just keep things rolling.
Yeah, me and Kenny, man, we're like, I'm like, Kenny, wherever I go, you're going to go with me, brother.
Okay, so yeah, we'll take our first break here. We're going to come on back. We're going to talk more about you and Kenny's musical endeavors for the next 10 to 15 years, starting with DSRX, which kind of comes right out of the Concord scene. We'll talk kind of about the Concord Depot, and then how that DSRX kind of ties in with Rudy, with us meeting you guys, and with the inception of Happy Ending.
Yeah.
So we'll be right back to do a little bit more with Ron.
This growing thing is a mental strain. My parents still yelling to sister, rebelling. With this mountain blues and short in my views, they're still yelling to sister, rebelling. Well, here I go. You were afraid that I could trust. You backstabbed me just for your love. Concealing ways it's hard to see. Not my friend, I still burn my paper in a mail. Well, here I go.
And I'm back with my guest, Ron Cruz, kind of finishing up his time in the band Kilrush, going into the late 90s, early 2000, and then you and Kenny just go directly into DSRX.
Yeah, so our last show, we played, I believe it was at Hobie's.
Hobie's Roadhouse. A lot happened out there.
It began there. My first show was Hobie's. It ended at Hobie's right there.
Yeah.
So this dude came out to see us. was friends with some bands that we knew. His name was John Schaefer, and he used to be the drummer for Hex.
Okay.
And actually, Hex just did a reunion.
And that's
so
Hex, Hexx.
Double X, right? It's not the same without the double X, man. That you have to do. And they were like they were a killer metal band in the 80s and 90s.
Good following.
Great following. East Bay, they used to play with like Exodus and shit like that. I mean, they were badass. So he came out to see us
As Kilrush.
and he's like, he gets a hold of us and he's like, you guys can't call it quits, man. Like you and Kenny and the singer especially, he's like,
You've got something going.
Yeah, we got a jam.
Yeah.
So we hook up with John Schaefer, and through a friend, this band called Push we used to play with in Concord, the bass player.
That name, yeah.
Remember? Okay, the Ryan was from Oakley, Antioch, the bass player. And he knew this dude named Charlie, guitar player who used to play in Alaplast and a bunch of other bands in Antioch. Was looking for a band too, so
he hooks up with you guys.
yeah, we hook up with Charlie. Charlie's like the perfect fit for us right now, man. We're, the kid's hungry, man.
And
Yeah.
so DSRX comes out. How would you describe that sound to our listeners? And that's drugstore.
Drugstore prescription,
Yeah, is
right?
what it
RX,
is.
right?
DSRX,
Exactly. So it's all over the place. It was all over the place, from punk to reggae to
Just kind of took every influence you had and
Right.
let's make a song with it.
and let's be as angry and fast as we can because Charlie had all this energy, and John was the older statesman.
Yeah.
He'd been
With
around,
experience
playing
long time.
all this shit, and he was hungry because he hasn't been played for years. So he was,
And you had the
family
younger
man.
guys kind of really
right, yeah,
excited
exactly,
and urgent.
yeah, urgency, right? That urgency, and we start playing, and Charlie's an amazing guitar player, man. The guy was, he could play everything.
And so it's just a 4-piece.
It was just four.
Okay.
It was real simple. We did an EP, recorded EP. We played a shitload of shows. So John had a lot of connections in the metal scene. Was friends with, because Hex did a lot. He knew this cat named John Marshall, who was a guitar player for Metal Church.
Okay.
And also, he filled in for James Hetfield when he remember that time when James Hetfield burned off his
Firework accident or something.
Yeah.
So he played with Metallica.
He was Metallica's guitar player because he was his guitar tech.
Okay.
So he played for Metallica while James was.
So these are some
his
big
arms.
guys.
Big
in
names in
metal
the
out there.
scene, right? And then and DSRX isn't really a metal band, but we were heavy, but we weren't a metal band. We were just kind of everywhere. Well, he comes in and he kind of sits in as engineer and produces our album.
It's John Marshall.
John Marshall
Okay.
at Trident Studios with Juan.
Okay.
So we recorded there. Fucking badass guy, dude.
Yeah.
Dude's.
And he likes what you guys are doing.
Oh yeah, he was into it, man. He was into it, dude. He was so fat. We did a little video and shit.
Gets you guys stoked.
Yeah. We play a lot of shows, man. But I just think that just a couple years, it had its course, man,
And you guys are playing, I remember you guys being on the Concord Depot
Oh,
sampler.
yeah,
I remember that album coming out. And
Dude.
I don't know what that was, 2000 or 99.
Yeah,
So you guys
Concord
played
Depot.
a lot of Concord.
Yeah.
Was there shows outside? I mean, are you guys in San Francisco?
Yeah, we did some San Francisco. We did the Paradise Lounge. Remember
Okay,
Paradise
yeah.
Lounge right across from Slim's?
So you guys are playing.
Yeah, we did that, and then we played a bunch of shows in San Jose and stuff like that. We actually played a lot. We really hit the court. But Depot, man, Grange
Yeah.
Hall.
Oh, Danville Grange.
Yeah, we played some of the
Yeah.
shows there. Mostly we did a lot of great.
And the Vets Hall in Concord.
Vets
right
Hall
next
in
to the
Concord, right
Depot.
next to Depot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Depot, man, you gotta understand
Who
these
was
people.
running
yes.
that place?
Gabe and his
Gabe
brother.
and Ephraim.
Yeah, Ephraim. Yes, yes. Where are those motherfuckers, man?
My God.
So the Depot, man, had a special place in my heart, man. Minus on ID,
Yeah.
G2K, the
G2K
Blue.
challenge. Yeah.
Yeah. The Blue Impact. I mean, the Depot was the place to play.
And it was happening.
It was happening, man.
I remember going to a few shows. They're kind of at the end of its run.
Yeah, a
And-
little pool hall. They serve only beer.
Yeah.
But dude, the funnest shows were always at the Depot.
It was
man.
full of musicians.
Always musicians.
Everybody in the scene was there.
Yeah, a
And-
bunch of
and-
beer drinking musicians, man. That's it.
Concord was happening at that time.
Concord was happening, man. You had the Timeout, you had the Bourbon Street, and you had Hobie's, and you had the Depot.
Yes, you had 4 and primarily metal rock venues.
Yeah, dude, I could go. I remember every fucking weekend I'd go. Doesn't matter. I'll just park somewhere centrally, go to one. Oh, a friend's band's playing here. Go to the other one. And it's literally all in walking distance. You could walk from one corner. It's all in that like Toto's House Park area.
Yeah, so it was happening.
Dude, it was rad. Go get a burrito at El Grines and then fucking, fucking walk over to the timeout. And
What bands were standing out?
oh, the Blue, for sure.
The Blue.
The
yeah.
Blue, man.
I remember, yeah.
Yeah, the Blue was the shit, dude. Dan and company was tearing shit. On ID, man. We used to tear shit up with
Justin.
that ID. Yeah, we used to tear shit up with that ID. Let's see. Minus was really, really cool, too.
They were standing out.
Yeah, they're all standouts, man. I mean, GTK. You remember, oh, fuck. I'm forgetting the name now. Oh.
But the shows there were full.
Third Rail. Remember Third Rail?
Wow,
yeah.
Third
Brand
Rail.
and those guys, man. Third
And
Rail.
was there a lot of exposure on 90.5 for those bands? I know at one time the Concord radio station was kind of playing those bands.
Yeah, every once in a while I think you can still hear the
Blue.
an Omissa song come on there. I've never
Yeah.
heard that. Well, the DJs would show up at the shows.
Okay.
So they were all local kids and local guys. There was adults that were doing that.
Yeah.
Not just kids, They were all showgoers, man. So they would all be out in Concord. And when you're a Concord kid and there's 4 venues you could go see a show.
Yeah. I just remember, like I said, that compilation, and it had 20 bands on it. And 15 of the songs were good. And I was like, oh my God, there's this many bands. And I'm listening to it, at 14 or 15 years old, just blown away that this all exists just over the hill,
Just over the hill.
10 minutes away.
Right. Concord was a really thriving scene.
Yeah.
I don't
Remember Breach?
Oh yeah, Breach. Holy shit.
There's some heavy metal
Social
bands there.
Ticket.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there was like a bunch of people played at Concord, and you could get a show there, a good show, and there was always people there.
And you and Kenny fit right into that scene.
Yeah, because we've been playing in it for
developed
years.
a lot of friendships.
Right, with Kilrush, man, it was kind of we were one of those Concord staples.
And the DSRX, a little more experimental.
Like it's a little more experimental.
Still groovy.
Yeah.
Still heavy.
Still heavy. And Kenny really started experimenting more with his screams.
Okay.
Like, so he would
Push.
Yeah, really, because, with Kilrush, you never really screamed much. It was more melodic singing and even some rapping, like I said. But with DSRX, he really was able to kind of, and me too, because Charlie pushed me, because Charlie's guitar playing was so...
He's so talented.
He loved punk rock, right?
Okay.
And...
A lot of fast, a lot of chords.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where I wasn't really familiar with playing punk.
Yeah.
And my fingers, man, he really like pushed me to get better and better as a bass player, man. And
pick up the pace and really the fills and the...
Right. And no matter how fast we practice, Johnny would kick it up like a couple of notches at the shows.
Always, right? Yeah. A good drummer usually does that,
Right.
Especially if you had a couple beers and next thing you know, it's like...
man, motherfucker, my fingers are cramping.
So DSRX, you said 2 EPs and kind of runs its course in a year or two, but plays a ton of shows. And then at that point, mutual friend of ours, Rudy, he's hanging out with us out in Oakley, and he has a tape, the way I remember it. And he's like, these guys want me to try out for the band. I don't know if he reached out to you guys or you guys found him.
Craigslist, I believe.
Is that how it was?
Or what was that one website where before Craigslist? Was it Power Slave?
Powerslave.com. Wow.
Was that Power Slave? We put that. I think that you could.
Well, there was a message board on that website. I remember.
I believe.
And there was musicians seeking musicians.
Yes. Power fucking Slave, dude.
Well, I forgot about that.
Shit.
So that was really tied in with Concord,
right?
And the scene.
Right. It was really tied in there. So we put an ad up there. He gets a hold of us, and at this time, Johnny's kind of like wants to do shit. Johnny, our drummer, and doesn't want to mess around with like trying to get some young kid up to speed.
Yeah.
So Rudy comes in, and he's like this 19-year-old kid, 18-year-old kid, whatever it is.
Yeah.
16, 17. Holy shit.
Probably into high school.
He was still working at Kmart, pushing carts around. I remember, dude, my first meeting with Rudy, because I was already living in Oakley. I meet him at Kmart, where he's working at. Right?
Yeah.
And he's pushing carts around. And I'm like, get out my car. I have a little Geo Metro at the time, little red Geo Metro. I'm like, hey, dude, you Rudy? He goes, yeah, dude. And I this little, Mexican kid with glasses, man. He looked like he was in totally, you could tell he was in the Deftones, by the way.
Yeah. And that's when you pass him the tape?
I passed him the tape, man. And then, he's like, oh, cool. So he goes and listens to it, and he comes back out like a couple of weeks later and tries out. And at this time, I'm going through like a musical change. Me and Kenny are both going through musical changes at this time, man. We really got into like Victory Records, Equal Vision Records.
Yeah, that stuff's kind of getting more and more into the mainstream.
Right. So we're like listening to bands like, I remember 2000, Glassjaw came out with Everything You Want to Know About Silence, man. That shit fucked up my world.
It just changed everything.
It changed my whole view on like heavy music and
Yeah.
and just music in general. Like, how can you have this melodic pain? like for example, man, they have a song, I can't remember the name of the song right now, but it's so fucking heavy during the verse, and then the chorus comes on, and it's like a ray of light breaks through the fucking clouds, and you're just like, oh, that's how it was like listening to Glassjaw first time. So we're already gearing our sound towards this kind of sound, and I remember Johnny was not really into that kind of stuff. He's not really feeling those kind of music, the vocals especially. He thinks it's kind of whiny. So Rudy comes out and he starts just playing some riffs, and it's like, fuck, that's what we're listening to right now.
It's just dead on what you guys wanted to do.
Right, and it's like, dude.
But Johnny doesn't feel it.
Nah, Johnny's not feeling it. He's like, man, I don't want to mess around with no young kid, and you know what I mean, kind of.
He's kind of wants to roll with the pros. He's had experience playing for a long time.
Right. And then so me and Kenny are like, cool. We try a couple more guitar players, man, and nothing comes out, and we're just like, all right, dude, I think it's over. It's done. So
DSRX
is on the way out, right?
Yeah.
Me and Kenny were at a Glassjaw show at the Pound.
Okay.
Glassjaw, Poison the Well. And who do I see? Fucking Rudy, right?
Yeah.
And like, hey, dude, remember us? You know, a few months ago? Yeah.
We all met up and jammed. And...
yeah, we didn't pick you. He goes, yeah, dude. And then I'm like, but I have a bunch of friends here who are starting a band. And it's Max and Max Sherman and Joey Ellis. You know, they're a bunch of kids too, and they're like, you know, starting this band.
Yeah, everyone's 18, 19 years old.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, you should call them. So I kind of get them in touch with each other. They start jamming. I go over watch them play one time, and I'm like, holy fuck, man, these guys are. I want to part of this. Yeah, they don't have a bass player yet or a singer, so or maybe they had a singer at the time, but he wasn't really singing, or I don't remember. But I pretty much said, okay, me and Kitty's going to join the band.
Yeah. So you set them up. They got to work in, and what they had created, you're like, this is just what we want to do.
I'm like, I could get with this. Yeah, I could hear the urgency, that word again.
Yeah.
I could hear the urgency in Rudy's guitar playing, man. Like,
it needed to get out.
Yeah. Right, it needed to be heard, man. And right now, they were just jamming in Rudy's garage.
Yeah.
I remember going there, man, and their dad's probably... Rudy's pops are probably like, what are these old fuckers doing coming to my garage playing with these young dudes, man?
Yeah, just fresh out of high school.
Right, we're like 26, 27, dude, and Rudy's like 18, 19, you know, they're like, what the fuck's going on here?
So you tell Kenny, hey, we got to play with these guys.
Right.
Like, this is happening.
Yeah. And then Rudy and Kenny gets in there, and we start jamming, and it's like fucking normal. It's like,
it just feels right.
So easy and natural. I think the very first song we wrote was Apples.
Which is the first song on the original Happy End.
Right.
Okay.
And you remember that one? After that song was written, I'm like, yeah.
It's got hooks in it. It has, you know,
everything, man.
Singing, screaming,
right.
Big guitars.
Right. This is like 2000. Breakdown, everything, man. I mean, that's like 2001, 2000, something like that. And I was just blown away, you know. And
yeah, great song structure.
Oh yeah. And then Joey, I think that was his first song. And then Joey really had problems like committing to the band.
Okay.
Like, couldn't really. He had other shit going on, and
so he never really gets in the real formation. Yeah. He's there, but
he helped write the first song, Apples, and then I think after that he was like, "Oh, dude, we can't." Well, we still keep jamming, and Rudy's like, "I have a cousin in San Jose.
Yeah,
he plays guitar. He's mostly a punk rock player, but."
Yeah, I can't remember the name of Lenny's band, but yeah, he was in a bunch of punk bands.
Yeah.
Rudy would always tell us about them.
Right.
He's playing punk rock, you know?
Yeah, so he's like, hey, he's heard some of the songs, he wants to come out, and so we're like, all right, fuck it, you know?
And that's Lenny.
It's Lenny. And then this, like, it's so easy. So we never really had to do any Craigslist shit with that band. You know? It was all there.
The original formation is Max
on drums.
Lenny and Rudy.
Uh-huh.
And then you and Kenny.
Me and Kenny, yeah.
And that's who writes that first EP. 5-song EP.
Yeah.
Follow the Star.
Thinking Out Loud.
Wow.
Subconscious, Apples, and Everything Okay.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Really a great record.
Dude, it was recorded at Castle Ultimate in Soundwave. Zach, he runs Castle Ultimate. I believe he's still doing it. And he's like a mainstay in like the metal local. I mean, he's a badass. He was also the drummer of Misotonia. Yeah. So yeah, he recorded that album. We did it in a couple days. our fucking cars get broken into.
Oh, while you were recording that? Oh, I never heard that story.
Motherfucker stole my sweater. I think it was my what sweater was it? It was a badass sweater. But anyways, it stole Max's camera, man, and because Max is really into photography. But we do that EP.
And you guys start playing out.
Fucking start, yeah. We already started playing out at like a couple of places in Oakley and like at the high school.
House parties. Oh yeah, Freedom High School. I think you guys played there.
Yeah, and we really, you guys, man, with the Delta crew really like pushed us, man, to do more.
Yeah, it was a big group of friends that we
yeah.
were, there with Rudy, and he got in his band with you guys, the older guys, and we were just excited that,
right.
A friend of ours was playing music. We all had intention to play music,
yeah.
but he was doing it. And it was
Yeah.
like, oh, man, we got to start being part of this, too.
Oh, dude,
and I think we followed you
amazing.
guys to every show for the first few,
First
years,
man. Yeah, I mean, shit, you guys were, I remember playing at the Campbell or the Gilroy Gaslighter.
Yeah, we would travel 50, 60, 70 miles. We all load in Kenny's van.
Lulu.
Oh, my God.
The van's name was Lulu.
And it was great times. Yeah, I mean, that first record, it still really holds up.
Yeah,
I
it's
really,
great.
I know people still, even friends of mine come by and ask, hey, do you still got a copy of that? They want to hear it,
Yeah, I that's one of the best. Even Zach told us, like, when he was trying to push for his studio to get more business in,
Yeah.
Oh, I'll play him that CD.
Yeah.
To show him, yeah, he was like, we never got it mastered, though.
Really?
Yeah,
So it's
we
just
just-
mixed by Zach.
We're broke.
Yeah.
Everyone's kids, man.
You got to get this thing out. Yeah.
Working at Kmart. We got to, okay, we paid for this much. Let's just
So you
get
guys
it
just
out.
print that on CD?
Yeah. We had a master, but it was never mastered.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was just straight out of, like, here's a quick mastering.
And you just passed out just CDs of that?
I believe we did a couple of printings of it, but it wasn't, like, really chintzy and
Yeah.
never had a cover art. I think we might have even printed out our own labels, man.
So that gets out, and then what happens to Happy Ending? Because that name goes away after a year or two, right?
Yeah, so we get a lot of attention, man. At one point, I don't know if you remember this, but at one point, man, we were flyering out there. Flyering.
Yeah.
No one knows what the fuck that is, right? So we were flyering out in the boardwalk. Me and Kenny. We're at the boardwalk in Roseville.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so we were telling these bunch of people out there, oh yeah, here's our CD, and then this one dude's like, what do you guys sound like? And we're like, we kind of have that Victory Records sound, Equal Vision sound. And
Yeah.
he's like, oh yeah, no doubt, and he like takes it, man, and he like gets a hold of us. He's like the tour manager for Atreyu.
Really?
Yeah, before they really got big.
Oh, God.
So he's like, yeah, I want to work with you guys, man. And this is when we had the drummer Eric. This is after Max, when we had Eric, and yeah, dude, he
So
was
that built some excitement in the band.
oh yeah, we were all, he's like telling us all this shit. They're like, you guys gotta get your look, Yeah.
Starts talking that stuff you really don't want to hear
right?
too much.
He's like, you guys all gotta dress the same.
Yeah.
All this bullshit, dude. We're like, what? Okay, so we start, but then it helps us because we start looking at our show. How are we presenting ourselves at shows?
It's the total package.
Total
kind of,
package, yeah. And
not just the sound, not just the because you guys had the songs at that point,
right?
The songwriting was there,
right? But it's like, oh, what song you guys want to do next?
Yeah.
It was really for fun. We just loved playing the songs, and we started taking it more serious. And I think we all kind of looked at ourselves, as like, wow, okay, this guy is actually somebody that
could really make a difference. And really help you guys,
right? And it really pushed us to. And you probably saw at that point too our progression in our live sound. And then, I remember Rudy one time looking at himself on video, and he's like, "Oh, wow, I look kind of bored."
Yeah.
And it's not because he wasn't excited to play, but he's like, the first band ever. And we're playing these shows, and he doesn't know what he looks like. He's just playing, right?
So he starts picking it up.
Starts picking up his game, and then I noticed
and rocking and having even more fun. With
right. And it's not about trying to look like you're having fun, but actually enjoying your time up there.
Yeah.
And you could totally tell like there was like a progression.
Yeah.
But I really think that helped us. And shit, what happened?
So, but nothing happened with that.
Nothing happened. Our dude, like, he was on tour with Atreyu. They were going there on tour, so he never really showed up and like said, "Oh, hey guys, I need you to do this." He would send us emails.
Yeah.
I think it was he would send us some emails.
But he gave you some advice, gave you
advice,
some good words
told
of
us what we
encouragement.
need to do. He gave us some projects. You guys need to do this.
Yeah.
And
got everyone to take it a little more serious.
Right. And it just didn't pan out, man.
And then you say you guys at that time you Google the name Happy Ending.
Yeah. We started. Well, we met Adam at a show, Adam Ruppel.
And he's from the band
Yeah,
Systematic.
He was with the band Systematic, and they were signed by Lars Ulrich's label. They released
From
an album.
Metallica, yeah.
Metallica, Lars Ulrich.
Yeah. So I mean, and he was friends of his, right?
Yeah, they're really good friends, and he's worked with all these big producers, and he was wanting to get his own studio, his own production company going, and he wanted to work with us, man. He loved our sound, loved our look, our vibe.
Yeah.
You know, and so he started working with us, and as a producer, like that was his. He wanted to be a producer because working with Lars and all these guys.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to do that. So we got with him, and then we started listening to the songs. Not just, you remember how long Apples was? Apples used to be so long, man. It's like a Rush song.
5-minute song, yeah.
It's like a Rush song, dude. Next thing you know, you're like, oh, what time is it? But so he like got us thinking about structure, right? Like band, like music structure. Like you gotta
The impact of the song and kind of, just
right. You're gonna lose people.
the formula. Yeah, sure.
Right, and so we start thinking about this shit, man. And at this time, we lost our drummer, Eric. He has this drummer that he knows because he lives over in Modesto. His name is Doug.
Okay,
And,
so that's coming on now. Your third drummer.
The third drummer now. Spinal Tap, anyone? So we got Doug in the band. Well, we're working with Adam.
Okay, and you're working on the
new EP that he's going to record called. And so he comes to us one day and goes, dude, I Googled, I don't even know if Google was around back then, but Yahoo search maybe.
Yeah, something.
He did a search for Happy Ending, and a shitload of bands in LA were called Happy Ending of something.
A Happy Ending.
A Happy Ending, The Happy Endings.
Yeah.
So he's like, I really suggest that we change the name because it's going to be confusing and there might be like copyright laws out there we don't know about or some shit, whatever it is. So he goes, but I come across this really cool word that I think it's a Latin word that, kind of fits your guys' whole motto. It's called Omissa, which is like the root word for omission or to be left out.
Okay.
Kind of feel, and we were like, wow, that's...
Yeah, it's kind of a powerful,
It does.
Name.
One word names, right?
Yeah.
One word names. Gotta keep it to one word. No, so it really fit, and none of us really had any good ideas anyways.
Yeah. So and this guy's producing the album, and
right.
He's has had some success in his career.
Right.
And he's throwing a name out there. And it's
Uncle Adam.
So Adam comes up with the name Omissa. We're going to take another break here, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about Omissa coming out with that 6th song, which was Blood, Tears, and Happy Endings.
Blood, Tears, and Happy Endings.
And then also talk about the album Identity Shattered that comes out later, Teki Pyro.
Yeah.
So we'll be right back to talk a little bit more with Ron.
Right on.
Remember you reap what you sow.
back here with my guest, Ron Cruz, and we're talking about the changing of the name from Happy Ending to Omissa. And you guys are having this album produced by Adam from Systematic. And so when that album comes out, what's the reaction? I mean, you've changed the name. The sound's grown.
Definitely grown, man. And it's gotten a little bit more mature. It's got some structure.
And does the audience catch on right away?
I think the OG crew, the DC crew, I think they still love the original sound, right?
Yeah.
The original 5-song EP that came out. They really, I mean, it grows on them, I think, but it's definitely different.
Yeah.
You know, it's
It had production to it.
more production.
You know,
it
yeah.
sounded refined.
There was layers.
More melody. Yeah, a little bit more melody, a little bit more. The songwriting changed a little bit. They still followed us, and I think they really grew into those songs because I think we still play. Well, Here I Go Again obviously became like a staple.
Yeah. An anthem.
An anthem.
Almost for
yeah.
the show, for the live show.
Live shows just become an anthem, and I think that album, it kind of ushered in with this other group of musicians that we played along with. At that time, we were playing with mostly, bands from our area.
Yeah.
Once we came out with that album, other bands kind of really gravitated towards, like Fourth Morning and Thought Crime.
Yeah.
This other, like, more
Some
East
other
County.
bands that were doing really well in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
But outside of Concord.
Outside of Concord, more East County,
Yeah.
like they're all from like the Pinole, Richmond area. So we started playing more shows with these guys, man, and kind of melded in these two fan bases,
Yeah.
and really hardcore fun. But both fan bases were so hardcore, they loved their bands.
Yeah, and Fourth Morning was one of those.
Fourth Morning.
With Johan and all
Brohan.
those guys. Yeah, man. I mean, and that band had a big following, as you guys did.
Yeah.
Like you said, you start playing these shows, and everyone kind of started to get along.
Right.
And it became, you married two.
It's
two bands together.
It was like fucking the Brady Bunch, man. And the best thing about this is both crews love to fucking drink and party.
Yeah.
So that was a beautiful marriage, man. It's like we get together and they'd come out to Oakley and we get all shit faced, and you guys come out the East County and we get all shit faced. I mean, the parties were pretty fucking
the
epic.
parties were happening at Omissa shows.
Yes.
And always were, and
Yeah.
I feel that was kind of part of, it was fraternity style
Right.
drinking inside of your guys' bands, and you guys were all there hanging at the bar, and with the friends,
with the
family,
friends,
whoever was there.
Right.
You guys were there anchored down at the bar from,
Yeah.
load in to load out.
If I didn't see one of the crew, man, like if I didn't see you or Drew or Froggy or Groner, any of these dudes, I'd be like, "Oh, is everything cool?
Yeah, what's going on? Those guys aren't
Is everything
here.
cool, man? I mean, oh, okay, cool. It's just they got shit going on."
So the album comes out, and does Adam help you guys at all with booking or kind of
No.
push you guys towards anyone? Does he send the record out to people?
I believe he sent it out, and we didn't get a lot of attention as far as nationally or we didn't know what to do.
Locally, you're still growing, but
Locally, our fan base is growing like a motherfucker, man. It's growing.
Yeah.
We got Thought Crime, who was like linked in with was the original bass players with Link 80, so they had the ATRC crew, and they all fell in love with us.
And so you're hanging with all these bands. Stuff's going. You guys are playing like the Pound.
The
I mean,
Pound.
coming
Oh,
close to
shit,
sellout
yeah.
shows at the Pound.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
what record was released there?
Oh, when we did the full length that we did.
Okay.
So
So
we
after
released that
the
there.
after the sixth song comes out, you guys just start working right away on another album, or do you guys play out for a while?
No, we're playing out. We're supporting this album, and we're doing a shitload of shows, man. Good shows, really good shows.
And you guys are going all over the West Coast at this
All
point.
over
There's
the West
tours
Coast.
up north. You guys are playing festivals.
Yeah, at this point, we played with a band called Maureen Drive,
Okay.
who later the singer became part of the Hollywood Undead or whatever.
Okay.
Like he's in that band now. But we did like a little West Coast tour with those guys, and then with Fourth Morning, we did another little West Coast thing up north. We went up to Portland, Oregon, and Washington, did some badass shows up there. It was it's on YouTube. You could find some of the footage of that. That's
a lot of the
that's
Omissa
the PG rated
and Thought Crime and Fourth Morning stuff you can still find. So this is YouTube is at least being introduced, but you're saying Omissa actually existed in a day before MySpace,
right?
And Facebook,
right?
and-
It's a good point because when we were first a band, we didn't have the social media like we do now. So you would actually have to go and support other bands, right?
Yeah, show up at their shows.
Show up their shows.
Face-to-face
flyer.
hangout.
Right.
Drink at the bars. I mean, that's how you guys
Yeah.
found a connection
Like,
with a lot of the...
You don't see that. I think that's one of the problems today with like the venue, with today's music. You
With the
don't have
local
that,
scene.
Yeah, you don't have that camaraderie. And a lot of that's because it's like, well, send me an Evite.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
send me the Facebook and shoot me over, your latest video and I'll check it out.
Right.
But
right.
you're not at the show.
You're not at the show. You're not at the show, so you're not making these actual connections with people.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a deeper connection. Like you'd go to their shows, you'd learn their songs, you'd love their songs, and then you as people too, you just really get to know them. You
Yeah.
know, you're there before they play, and they're bullshitting with you about the music, and
Yeah, and you're out at Denny's afterwards with them and,
Right.
and so on and so on,
right. It was like that, man. And then when MySpace came around, and later on Facebook, it was a strange transition from I'll use like a musical term, like analog to digital.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It went from one like media where you were comfortable in,
Yeah.
you know how to thrive in that, to a digital world where it was uncomfortable.
And people started putting a lot of focus and a lot of energy and time
Right.
in this online promotion.
Right.
You
And
know?
it was definitely a weird transition, especially when you're so used to a DIY.
Yeah.
Everything you're doing yourself.
Just boots on the floor,
Right.
show up, play.
Go flyer on a fucking telephone pole.
Yeah.
Make staples.
Show
right?
up at the beginning of the show and leave when it's done.
Right. Yeah. You're there.
Yeah. And
You're
now-
there, man. You're being seen. So even I'll go out to a random show in Berkeley somewhere, Blake's or other places, and people will be like, "Oh, dude, you're the bass player in Omissa." Yeah.
Yeah, cheers and hang out.
Yeah.
And then they're showing up at your show.
Right. And I'll give them a
Next.
flyer. Like, "Oh, here, man, we're playing here." And they bring their friends, and then
Somewhere I do feel that got lost.
it has. If someone gives me a flyer now, I'm like, dude, you just killed a fucking tree.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
It's a little different. So you guys are playing all over, though, on that Blood, Tears, and Happy Endings.
Yeah.
It's doing well. I mean,
Doing really good.
I mean, I was there for a lot of the shows and watching you guys grow. It was exciting. I mean,
Yeah.
there was something happening. There was an urgency in the music.
Yeah.
It was, and that kind of music was just starting to break mainstream.
Right.
I would say, you
Right.
know, with emo and with kind of that stuff happening, and you guys were, right at the front of that.
Yeah, like Thursday, Taking Back Sunday.
Sure.
Atreyu. We're talking about Atreyu earlier, man.
Yeah.
They kind of oversaturated it. Like got to the point. Remember, like when Rage Against the Machine,
Yeah.
right? And then all of a sudden you had Limp Bizkit. Well, they fucked it up for everyone,
Yeah.
right? Thanks,
Yeah.
Fred Durst. Fuck that shit up, man. No, but you know what I'm saying? Though the band that come and it's just
They inspire people so much that people emulate their sound.
yeah, like Creed fucked up grunge.
Yeah.
Limp Bizkit fucked up rap metal, I guess you call it.
So that whole scene's growing, and you guys end up. It's time for a full length.
Yeah,
At that
for a
point.
full length, man.
And at that point, Omissa changes drummers again,
yeah,
and then it comes in Melvin.
Melvin comes in.
What was his history?
You know what? I don't know.
Was
if
he in other
I don't
bands?
think so.
Okay.
He was friends with Fingertight and a bunch of other guys in the scene. I think Dustin from UK introduced us.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah, so he comes in. We start playing right away. He picks up the music easy. We meet Jim from Teki Pyro Records. Before Teki Pyro Records was a record company. He comes see our show. He sees our show. So
And what band was he from?
I can't remember. It was a really popular Christian band.
Okay.
So he had deep roots in this Christian scene. And at that point, the Christian music was kind of on the up and coming in the emo scene. Like, was it as Shadows Fall, or is it
Were they
as
Under
as
Oath?
What Under Oath is the biggest
Yeah.
one, but there was a few other that I would never guess were like metal, like a Christian metal band.
And he's
But-
part of that scene.
And he's part of that scene, man.
Okay.
And he was really big into it. But he doesn't want to get loopholed into a Christian
yeah, you
label.
don't want to be pigeonholed
Right,
or whatever
pigeonholed,
in
yeah.
that scene.
loophole. Yeah, pigeonholed. Yeah.
Okay.
So he comes up to us and he's like, "Hey, man, I know all these guys in Trustkill Records and all these guys,
Yeah.
So he's got his fingers in the scene.
And he hears of you guys.
He really believes in us, yeah,
Yeah.
really does. So, offers us a record contract, and being young and stupid like we're just kind of like, yeah, we'll jump at the first thing,
Sure.
And it wasn't a bad record deal, but it was really a startup company. Before
Yeah.
startup companies were startup companies. It was a startup
And
company.
that's what he was doing.
He was everything, producer, everything.
So he records the record even?
Well, he was the producer.
Okay.
We went to Masaki Louis, who's like Masaki is the man. He is a myth legend in the Concord scene. I think it was not One Way Studios. God, I can't remember now. But anyways, you can look up Masaki, dude. The guy is everywhere.
Yeah.
He's won Grammys and shit like that. But so he records this because him and Jim have a tie-in with the whole Christian scene. Masaki's tied in with that too. So we start recording there at his place in Benicia. He used to work with Chris Dugan.
Okay.
Remember with,
I think Masaki mastered the very first Civil Arrest EP.
Yeah.
We went out there with Rudy, and he mastered that for us.
Yeah, Masaki's a badass, dude. The guy's a legend, man. But we record there, full-length album with Jim sitting there in every session. He's being like the...
And he's cheering you guys on and giving he's excited.
Dude's got enough energy for the whole fucking band. You know what I'm saying? So we record this album and
that's Identity Shattered. You guys brought back some songs from the
original Happy Ending EP. We brought Apples and Everything Okay
back to this record.
Yeah. Which I wanted to do Follow the Stars, but
So the Identity Shattered record comes out, and that's 2005.
Yeah, 5. So our record releases in 2005.
And that's at the Pound.
That's at the Pound. And at the time, the Pound was... Okay, so every, generation, there's, a legendary venue.
Yeah.
Berkeley Square, Blake's.
Yeah.
Pound was the shit. You remember the Pound was amazing.
It was in San Francisco, the Pound.
All ages, out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
so you had to find parking. Parking was not an issue.
No problem. The parking lots were jumping. People were out drinking. There was a pier, or there was a little park right next, and you could walk to it and be on the water.
Right. Yeah. Drink your little flask. I've seen so many legendary bands there.
There was so many great shows at the Pound.
Man, Hope's Fall.
Yeah.
I've seen Hope's Conspiracy.
I've seen the Poison the Well.
Poison the Well, Glassjaw.
Show. I was at that show that you talked about earlier.
Grade. Zayo.
Oh,
I seen Zayo there.
Now were they're involved in the Christian metal scene also?
They were.
Zayo.
Yeah,
okay.
that was
that was a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I seen shit.
Hot Water Music, you said?
Hot Water Music. Every Time I Die, and it dies today. We actually, what are they called? Shitload of band. I got to interview the singer from Every Time I Die with Max, the original drummer there at the
Pound.
At the Pound. Yeah, we played with Boy Sets Fire there, man. That
was huge.
Oh my god, dude! Boy Sets Fire was still one of my all-time favorite bands. I mean,
but the record release show goes huge.
It goes huge, man. The promoters there, or the owners, they say, they told us that's the first time a local band
has packed this place,
has sold it out.
Yeah.
By themselves without really, because we handpicked all the bands we wanted to play in. Monica was the promoter, but I gave her the bands I wanted to play with. You
booked it, basically.
I was like, I want these guys. She's like, okay.
So the album comes out to a sold-out show.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's... The passion's there, the energy's there. And then, so, Omissa, what's next once that album's out?
We do a lot of support for it. We do...
and you're doing a lot of opening for nationals and stuff at that point.
Yeah, Voice Says Fire and whatever else we could... It Dies Today at Blake's. And we end up playing at this big outdoor venue called Tom Fest. And it's another little Christian event.
And the Teki Pyro guy gets you this.
Yeah.
Sets it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really rad. I mean, you would think, Christian, what, they just talk about God all day? No, it was nothing like that.
It's just a rock festival.
It's a rock festival, but with a really good message.
Yeah.
Right?
No alcohol.
Well,
maybe not served at the venue.
Walmart was down the street. So
and you guys are still partying. I mean, it's still rolling.
Yeah, and they searched our car when we're going in, make sure we didn't have any weed or alcohol. But Rudy puts it in places where no one will look. Yeah, we play that music festival, and there's Emery, Shiny Toy Guns.
There's big bands.
Big bands. I mean, shit, hella good bands. I can't even remember to list them all. But it was an amazing outdoor festival, 3 days up in Camas, Washington. But unfortunately, that was the last of
Omissa.
That was the last of Omissa,
And so the band kind of just starts to lose its energy,
it's drive, energy, passion.
And you guys have been doing it for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, and we were already playing that album for a year and a half. I think it was a year and a half, and we didn't write anything new.
Okay.
So I think
it was getting a little stagnant. At that time.
People are getting older. They wanted to do life shit, which I don't blame.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's what playing music is all about. You get older and priorities become
They can change, yeah.
Change,
So
yeah.
2006, Omissa calls it quits.
yeah.
And that was kind of headed by you, and you just wanted to further in different projects.
Right. I was kind of feeling like, okay, I'm not saying that we should disband, but I am gonna move on,
And do something else.
do something else. I've been looking around and
And what do you get into after Omissa?
well, Craigslist now is booming. So I find
Yeah.
Craigslist, a couple musicians are looking on Craigslist, and they name bands that I totally love,
Yeah.
Converge and shit like that. So I'm like, oh, and they put a couple tracks on there, and I listen to it, and I'm like, okay, this is like next level shit. I mean, amazing stuff. So I go and meet these guys, and it's Shannon Core. He was a drummer in Greenlight the Bombers, and Andrew Lund, who was the guitar player in Lower 48 and The Mass. He's the bass player in The Mass. And so they have all these like 4 or 5 songs written already, and
And it's heavy.
it's heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fucking heavy. I had
You're
to
talking
use
Converge and stuff like that, yeah.
It's heavy, and it's on 11, and it never goes down past 11.
Loud.
It's loud, and
And
it's
so that's the formation of
Sons of Oswald. Yeah. So I get in this band. We start playing. They're looking for a singer. Omissa called it quits.
So you call Kenny.
I call Kenny.
So I got another band for us to give it a try.
Kenny, here's something heavy. No singing though, man. This is all just gonna be
This is
something
heavy.
balls out, just screaming, just
Yeah.
drink a lot of whiskey, beer nights, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Kenny comes in and loves it, man, and
And
Sons
that
of
band,
Oswald.
yeah, Sons of Oswald. We actually played a show with you as Civil War Rest at the Broken
Broken
Wheel
Wheel.
out in Brentwood. And I remember you guys, I think we had set up the show and we asked you guys to open it. Rudy was playing with us at the
Yeah.
time, and you guys come in, it's so loud. You got the full stack guitar and the 8-speaker bass cabinet,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's just cranked. And as soon as you guys hit a note, I mean, the bar, unfortunately, most people just walk.
It's like, all right, this is cool. I'm gonna go outside.
Holy smokes, yeah, everyone went out to have a smoke at that point, I think.
I'm gonna have a half hour of smoke.
Yeah,
And here's the other thing, man. Like that floor was like tile floor. You remember?
and it just ricocheted.
It just
forever,
ricocheted
I mean, there was
everywhere.
it was just a bar. There was no sound, I think we brought the PA.
Yeah.
set
Dude,
it
you
up.
know what the fucked up thing is, man? All the time that we practice, I like maybe wore earplugs like 3 or 4 times.
You probably messed up your hearing during that band.
Say that again. Yeah, dude, it's all fucked up.
So
man.
Sons of Oswald does record a full-length album, which
Full-length
was
album.
Ascending Mount
Bro Olympus.
Pro Olympus. And I think I had a copy of that somewhere around. And Sons of Oswald lasts a year or two.
Yeah, about two strong years, man. We did a lot of shows. Blake's was, I love Blake's.
Was good to you guys.
That was good, guys, man.
And that was just about the end of Blake's also,
Right.
which is a legendary venue there, right on
miss it
Telegraph.
still.
Yeah.
Man.
Great venue, great
Man, what
great
happened
shows.
to Berkeley?
For local bands, that was the
Yeah.
best show. Like when bands were up and coming,
Right.
and you'd fill Blake's. Because it
Yeah.
kind of had a built-in
It did.
draw to an
It
extent.
did.
But if you could bring 50 or 100 people, it was jump.
And those stairs, though.
And it was underground.
Oh, fuck
I mean,
those
it was literally
stairs, man.
underground. We had a show booked there, and Scary Gary
Uh-huh.
calls us about a week before the show and told us Blake's was closing. And so it was going to be our first show at Blake's. We were so excited. And it got canceled right there the week of. I'm like, man, we're the cursed to Blake's.
Dude, what the fuck, man?
So after Sons of Oswald, you start calling Dr. Howard. And how is that? That's like not a super group, but it's a lot of the names from the Omissa days.
Yeah, it was Nick from Fourth Morning, the guitar player, vocalist at the end there, and then Pave Christensen from Goodbye Gadget and The Blast, and me. At first, it started with Dave Chris from Dome Shots.
Oh, really?
He was the very first drummer on there. We're all calling ourselves. It's like, dude, what should we call themselves? And I had just watched like Three Stooges like the day before, and there was the episode called "Calling the Doctor" or something like that, and they're on the hotline going, "Calling Dr. Howard, Dr. Fine, Dr. Howard," and so it's like, oh fuck, we're going to be calling Dr. Howard. But Dave Chris was in it for a quick second, and then we got Pave to play drums, and it was Rudy, me, Kenny, Nick from Fourth Morning, and Pave, and we did about 4 or 5, maybe 4 at the most shows.
Kind of back to the Omissa sound, though, right?
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
heavier.
a little heavier, a little bit more melodic, kind of some dirty rock and roll in there, like kind of like Every Time I Die-ish. It was in there, but with 2 vocalists. Because Nick could sing. That part could sang.
Yeah.
Him and Kenny could sang together. They both really
Had the look, had the
melodic.
feel.
Right.
But there was a show at the Metro.
Metro, that outdoor Oakley place.
Oh, the house.
The
we were talking
house.
behind El Camino
Yes.
off of Highway 4.
Yes, the house,
Wow.
the metro.
I think they're still doing shows there, and that's a cool place for out here, if it is, because that's the last place doing any shows.
It was fun. That was fun. Slims, we did Slims.
Wow.
Yeah, we did Slims, and then
And that was it.
that was it. Yeah.
Was there any recording with Calling Dr. Howard?
No.
No.
We were going to record one time at Expression. I'm probably glad that we did not because Expression never. It was great for free recording,
Yeah.
but
Some of it doesn't always come out as planned.
Yeah.
So Calling Dr. Howard lasts 6 months.
Yeah, a year at the most.
A year.
Yeah, we kept going on, but we probably didn't play more shows after that. We just, it's hard to get everyone together.
And at that point, Kenny kind of takes a break.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have been doing it for almost 20 years. Right? Or 15 years or so. And then, you continue.
Yeah.
And you keep rolling, and you kind of start in with the band Winchester Revival at that point.
Right. That's actually the guitar player from Sons of Oswald, Andy. So
Okay.
Andy calls me up and he's like, "Hey man,
I've got songs.
I got some shit going on. I know you like melodic music, because as much heavy music as I love, I still listen to like really melodic shit, like Minus the Bear and Circus Survive.
Yeah,
that was
that's
like
kind of what the Winchester reminded me of.
Right,
Especially
Interpol,
the music.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Interpolish, Circus Survive music. So I'm already listening to that shit anyways. And he calls me up and says, "I got this band." He never heard of these bands before, but he's listened to like old '80s. You can go like death rock shit like that, like The Cure and stuff like that. So we get together and we start playing. And me and Andy, we've always had this musical connection, where, no matter what he plays, I'm right with him.
Yeah,
You know what I
it
mean?
just
So
makes
easy.
sense, and it's easy. Yeah,
Easy to go. And
you don't have to hash it out. You just okay, cool.
Right.
I gotcha.
Right. So I just go in there, me and him just start listening to music, and we're looking for a drummer. And I know Max, the original drummer from Omissa, is really into that music as well.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got such a
and
great
he's a
feel.
great drummer.
Oh God, he's got such a great feel.
pocket kind of drummer.
Yeah, like just that groove. He's just
yeah.
So I give him a call up, and
He's
he comes down.
interested.
Oh yeah, we start jamming. We start writing music. Things don't work out with Max after a while, and we end up going back on Craigslist. At this point too, we also have this the singer for a little bit, and she finds this drummer on Craigslist, and we get him in there, and his name is Kirk, and he's from Connecticut,
Okay,
and dude is
transplant to the Bay.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
and dude's a fucking badass, man. So we start writing music, and it's kicking out,
Cool songs.
Oh, and we're
Yeah.
kicking music out, but our singer, we need a new singer now because our other singer left, and she had so much going on.
Yeah,
So we start looking for singers, and we kind of had in mind a female voice. Didn't work out that way. It was just hard to find someone that's gonna, because even though if we were melodic, we're still loud.
yeah. So you need someone with a powerful voice.
Powerful voice. So we end up going with a really good friend of of Andy's. His name is Dave. So he writes. He saw us one time with either he's been hearing the music or something, but he heard our music.
Kind of been
'cause-
following you guys.
Yeah, because Lund is like kind of sharing music around. He writes something to one of our songs, and it's like, yep, there it is. That's our singer.
That's what we were looking
That's
for.
what we're going for, man. We had Andy works with this cat named Matt, and he was like he's got this synth and stuff like that. And
So you add some keyboards.
and some synth. Yeah,
different
so,
sounds to it.
Yeah, we write an EP. We record it in our studio with a good friend of Andy coming in. He's works for Universal Audio.
You got pro gear.
We got pro gear, so we
Yeah.
bring it to our studio and release this EP. And it's all
How many
digital.
songs was that?
4 or 5.
And is that available?
Yeah, it's on
or-
Bandcamp and all that right now. Yeah.
Okay,
so,
cool. So check that out.
Yeah, you can find Winchester Revival on Bandcamp. That's the first one's called Eyes in the Canopy. Okay, it's the first 4-song EP, and it captures the feel, man. I mean,
Yeah.
the one thing you get.
You were happy with how that came out.
I was really happy because it's right in our studio.
Yeah.
We were just playing like we play. And,
Natural play.
Natural, man.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing I learned about working with producers and studios and taking a million takes, you lose that sense of feel and urgency. It becomes a little
innocence
robotic. Yeah,
and-
it's so perfect to the point that it's like no longer doable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
It can almost get robotic.
It gets
almost,
robotic,
you
right,
know,
right.
Especially with heavy production.
Yeah, like all the kicks are like perfectly,
yeah.
perfectly. When that, it's like there's no flutter or nothing. It's perfect, but
It loses some of the emotion.
it loses the emotion, man. Like we were saying earlier, anyone can play a G chord, but only a small amount of people can play a G chord and make you cry.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's got so much emotion
And that's
behind
where
that
the
one.
talent is, yeah.
That's where the thing is, right? So we did this in ourselves, and it really captured it really well. Then we end up playing a handful of shows, and it's hard to really with that band. Everyone was so involved in their daily life. Like
It's
everyone,
hard to kind
everyone
of
had kids, married.
get it in motion.
Right, because everyone has kids, their family, work. I mean, you're no longer working at Starbucks. You know, you're like
Yeah. You're not a bartender anymore.
you're not a bartender, man. You're like a full on like career, dude. Where people,
people are counting on you in the morning to show up.
Right. You know, you can't just leave and do shows. So it's really hard to do shows with that. To get everyone on board.
So that records just one EP, or was there two?
We recorded 2 EPs. The next one we recorded with Justin at Trackworks.
Okay.
And that one was more refined. We try to make that one a little bit more refined, not so lo-fi.
Not as loose.
And it loses some of the feel.
Okay.
But Justin at Trackworks, he recorded Sons of Oswald. Dude's fucking amazing, man.
Excellent.
You guys should all go look up Trackworks, man. He's in South San Francisco.
He knows what he's doing, huh?
He knows what he's doing, man. Justin at Trackworks, man. There's a shout out to you, bro. But and then so
Winchester kind of runs its course.
Yeah, but
after that,
we record the full length. We record a full length at Louder Studios in up in Green, Nevada City, somewhere, Green Valley, or wherever that place
Grass
is.
Valley?
Grass Valley.
Okay.
It's badass, man.
Really?
Dude.
And it's never seen the light of day?
Just the music we recorded. We never finished vocals and anything else. We we're like, our singer was going on a sabbatical, and we had another backup singer, Amanda. She was having a baby, and
so there was just nobody to sing at that point.
Right, and we're just like, we're just gonna, let's just release like 3. We have 4 songs we're sitting on right now. We're gonna release those soon, but we decided to go forward without the vocals and try something new.
Yeah.
So we started a band called Early Monarchs,
and that's current.
That's current right now. We're writing songs right now to getting ready to play live. Our singer plays with our drummer in her solo project. Her name is Vincy Vibe, and she's more of a soul artist.
Okay.
She's great vocalist. Can sing the hell out of anything, right?
Yeah.
So she comes in. She loves the music because he's been feeding her the music. You know, just kind of getting her opinion, and she wants to sing. You know, and we're like,
so she comes in.
She comes in and nails it. Really? Just like, oh, okay. I guess
so
you're
now you guys are writing with her.
We're writing with her now. It's called Early Monarchs, and it's been really cool. It's really quite a change of scenery, like music wise.
From the Sons of Oswald
type. Right. We
went
from super heavy to like, this is really I could dig this and drive around and kind of get lost in it.
With some good soundscapes and some really good singing.
Oh yeah, very melodic, very ambient. It's really good.
Very cool. So that's going to be coming out with some songs, hopefully soon. Mm-hmm. Maybe some shows.
Oh yeah.
So everyone keep your eyes open for Early Monarchs.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course we're coming full circle as we have the return of Omissa.
Omissa.
They're back. So a few months ago, you guys announced and you guys get together, and there's to be a reunion show. Yeah. Omissa's back.
Yeah, so the way it started was John from Thought Crime gets hold of me. He goes, hey, man, we're going to do a reunion show. I'm coming back. He lives up in Alaska right now. I'm going to come back, and we're going to do this show. And
just a one-off is what they were planning.
Just one reunion show, right? We want you and Dome Shots to play.
Let's have some fun.
Right?
Get the crews back together.
And I'm like, I'm so down for that, man, but let me talk to everyone. I'll see where their heads are at.
And it had been a while since you guys had all talked about the band.
Right. Well, I think, so like a year before, this talk had happened before when there was a Facebook thread where they started, and then everyone was like calling out band names.
Yeah.
And it kind of, like, people were getting excited about it then, last year, but then it never
materialized.
Nothing stuck. It was all just like, oh, that would be awesome if. But this time he had, we got it booked at Toots already, and
he had a venue.
He had a venue already, or we could get Toots if we wanted anyway. It wasn't like it was.
And he had a date in mind.
He had a date in mind already, right? And let's go full. Let's go on. If you guys are down, we want to do this. So like, I talked to everyone.
Hit everyone up.
Yeah, everyone. Surprisingly, everyone was so down.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure, like, because everyone was having babies, and Lenny had a baby on the way. Kenny had to.
Just where everybody was at.
Just I didn't, and people are living everywhere now. Rudy's in Oakland, and Kenny's in Sacramento now.
Yeah.
So I just was like, I don't want to promise anything, man. But yeah, everyone was down. Like, I didn't have to convince anyone.
Everyone's
know?
excited. It feels good.
Yeah.
So we've got December 16th
December 16th.
at Toots.
Toots.
Now-
Toots.
Toots. Thought Crime drops off.
Yeah.
They weren't able to.
They weren't able to make all their schedules work.
Okay.
Yeah, so they weren't in it, but I was like, dude, I got the ball rolling already. We've
We
had
got
a
to
couple
make this happen. If it
practices.
doesn't happen now, it's gonna be trouble. Huh?
Well, just the excitement, man.
Yeah.
I've never seen people like Kenny and then also online, the excitement from
The
people,
fans and the friends.
The friends, yeah.
Everyone that was there 10 years ago.
Right.
Or, I mean, it's been 10 years since the show, right?
Yeah, 2006.
So 10 or 11 years since Omissa's played.
Old motherfuckers.
There's a buzz, yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's excited. So, yeah, we're excited to have you guys back. We plan to hear a lot of the old songs.
Well, because we have AJ playing drums with us right now, we just had to get up to speed with all the old songs. So right now it's just going to be 2 songs off the original EP, which is going to be Apples and actually 3 songs, if you count. Yeah, Apples, Everything Okay, and we'll do Falling Star. And then like 4 songs off.
It's a lot of familiar.
Yeah.
All the familiar songs.
Oh, yeah.
The hits.
Yeah.
What the audience wants to hear.
Right. It's going to be all those songs, and and actually the more exciting part is we're actually writing some new material.
So new Omissa possibly to come in the new year.
Yeah, recordings, and then we'll see what
Very cool.
happens. I know for Ken, he's really excited. He wants to start.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a fan of you guys, since you guys started, and really cool just to see the pictures of you guys back in the room together.
It's
And
fun,
I
man.
know everyone's gotten along through the years, but it's like
Yeah.
to see everyone back. It's like cool, man. God,
Right.
that was I can't believe it was 10 years ago.
Right, and it took a while for Lenny to get back in the studio with us because he didn't have actual gear to play live. Right, so he had all this recording gear, but he didn't actually have gear.
So
he had
he's
to
been
buy-
playing though,
He's been playing.
and
Oh
writing
yeah.
songs and all that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's a studio gangster. Yeah, so,
he has no trouble with that stuff. So
Yeah.
we've got new Omissa to come, and at least a show here at the end of December.
Right.
Possibly some more shows next year.
yeah, possibly. I mean,
And
definitely
then-
want to write some new material before we do anything.
Yeah.
I would like to. If we ever play another show after, I would like to have
New songs.
New songs.
Yeah,
At least
there's
one or two.
certainly the talent in that band and in that room to create. I'm sure again, Early Monarchs should have some music coming 2018.
Yeah.
hopefully some
Real
shows,
soon. Real soon. Yeah.
and that'll be happening.
Yeah.
We can check out a lot of your stuff online as far as Winchester. You said Sons of Oswald's probably available.
Sons, yeah. They're all on Bandcamp.
Yeah, so check out these bands. Ron's put in his 20 plus years here in the scene, and I'm really excited we got to have your story here.
Yeah, man. Ryan, you're a badass, dude.
Thank you, man.
You're a badass,
It's
dude.
exciting to hear, getting really excited just hearing a lot of your stuff and to see, you came from out here in Pittsburgh and really have stuck at it. And I think,
Berg.
it says a lot, to keep the bands going and to really, I think with that, you can inspire a lot of people to, keep the ball rolling themselves.
Well, I hope so. I mean, that's the main thing with music, right? It's like, not really what I get out of it, because what I get out of it, I'm going to get out of it regardless.
Yeah, whether it's in front of an audience or anybody.
Definitely,
You're
right?
getting in just playing.
I'm getting it just playing, just getting out my artistic, output or whatever you want to call
Having
it.
a creative output.
Creative output of something, yeah. But when I get feedback from people and they tell me how, like people have told me like how it's affected them, or I mean that's amazing, or even how it affected their music. Like, oh yeah, we changed our sound.
Yeah, being influenced by your music.
Right, we
Or
changed our sound
your bass playing.
because
Your style.
Yeah. I've had people come up to me and said, "Oh, dude, you're such a badass bass player," and I'm like, "Fooled you."
Well, I want to thank you again for coming out and sharing your story. I think it was a great one, and I hope everyone can check out Omissa coming back, making a comeback to play December 16th, and also check out Early Monarchs. And I'm really curious to hear that.
Yeah,
and
me
come
too.
out to a show hopefully soon next year. All right, Rob, was there anything you want to leave our listeners with?
No, just you know what, guys, just be true to what you do, man. And I think no matter what, you can't be as long as you're keeping true to your heart, man. It's what counts, music or in life, dude.
Yeah, I think that it shows,
Right on.
Right on, Ron. I want to thank you again, man, and thank you guys all for tuning in to 80 West. We'll catch you guys next time.
Peace.